Oh, welcome back my gardening friends. Well, what a change in the weather. Absolutely red hot, and I've forgotten to give these a water, so they're looking a little bit limp in this very warm sunshine. But it doesn't matter, we're on 90 days for the rocket first earlies. From left to right, my experiment. So we've got the homemade compost only, and in the middle we've got comfrey cake which has been blended. You can see that in one of my previous videos. And then we've got on the right is artificial potato, organic fertilisers, etc. So something that you'd normally buy. So I normally replant these, but they're looking very sad. And the one with the bought fertiliser, which I didn't buy, I had give me, that's why I used it, still's got some life in it, so I may replant it, I may not, depending on what it looks like when we get them out. So first of all, we'll have a look at the homemade compost mix only. So the first one is the homemade compost mix only. That can be seen in my playlist under my homemade liquid plant foods compost mixes and activators, and I'll try and put a link in the cards at the end. Straight away, as soon as I pull the haulms out, a few little potatoes, which we love, and I'm not going to bore you taking every potato out, but we'll see what happens. So they are very dry, so even though we had all that rain, I should have still watered. Rookie mistake, but let's see what we get. They are quite clean at the moment. 4 potatoes, and that seed has just started to go. And I'll fetch these out and just stop start so you can see what we're getting. So that's all I can find at the moment. 4 seed potatoes and a nice little haul there. I think that's got to be one of the best ones I've ever done with my homemade compost. Okay, I'll empty these out and we'll look at these later. We'll move on to the next one. Okay, so the next bag is the rocket potatoes again. 4 in the bottom of the bag there, crisscrossed, and we had the homemade compost with the blended comfrey cake, which can also be seen in my playlist somewhere. And again, looks like a nice crop there. I have found the 4 seed potatoes, so I know that one hasn't rotted, so we're all on an even par at 4 seed potatoes have actually grew and produced these potatoes. We'll now move on to the ones with the fertilisers in. So the last one, this is the one that we all really want to see whether if we buy our fertilisers it makes a great deal of difference. So this has had artificial organic potato fertiliser added to this bag. And straight away we can see quite a large potato. So that's the haul we've got. Again, I've found all 4 seed potatoes, and to be truthful, the 4 seed potatoes from the one with the fertilisers were in better condition than the rest. Again, all these have been grown in my homemade compost with wood chips as a mulch to retain the moisture. It helps if you've got moisture in there in the first place. This is very dry, and it goes against everything that I preach about watering potatoes whether it rains or not. So I've got egg on my face, or quite a few nice potatoes actually. So just giving them a quick wash in my bath. So from left to right, as we revealed them, In actual fact, I don't think there's a great deal in it, but obviously the bigger potatoes on the right from the fertiliser are going to weigh a little bit heavier. Just going to let them drain, and I'll take you into the shade and we'll weigh them. So just before we weigh them, this is comfrey cake. Now I last year used my comfrey pipe. You put the leaves in, just the leaves, and it compresses it. You get the concentrate comfrey juice from that. Dry it out in this wonderful sunshine, not the rain that we've had recently, and you end up with that. And that's what's been added to the one with the comfrey cake in. Now this is the container. I'm now using it as my blended eggshell, but there again, it doesn't look like it's organic, but that's it. That's what we've used in that. So somebody has actually purchased this as a potato fertiliser. Right, let's get these bagged up. And it's not wise to lick your fingers to open the bag up after you've just played with comfrey cake. My aim isn't very good either. No cheating. And I have double checked that I haven't dropped any on the soil. I'll get this set so it fixes itself. Right, that's fixed itself at £4.6.7. 4.67. I have to remember that, guys, because I probably won't. 4.67. Right, fetch the other container. Onto the comfrey cake that you've just seen. We're on pounds. $4.38. It's easier than remembering. Okay, I'll fetch the others. So this is the one with the artificial fertilisers. Now, I've just thought, just because it's in that container, it doesn't mean to say that's what was actually in it. So just beware of that, guys, when you do have stuff give you. It's just come to me that what you get may not be always what is in the container. It's slightly heavier. Just make sure we're switched on. We are. At 5.5 something. 5.54. It's just set itself. Can you see that? Trust me, guys. 5.54. So I've just weighed a pound of potatoes out. This is just over what the difference is, and this is the difference between the fertilisers. So that is the extra that we've got by somebody, excuse me, using this instead of my blended comfrey cake, or just my basic homemade compost mix, which contains a few little ingredients which you can see in another video. So the scores on the doors, so there we have it. Not much difference at all, and they've all been grown in the 56 litre containers with the equal amounts of homemade compost, but with the added ingredients on the comfrey and the fertilisers. So I hope that's been useful to you all. It has to me, because I shan't buy any fertilisers to add to my potatoes. I must remember to water them though. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.